How to find a perfect woman to date in a right way, in a religiously, to date, to marry, not to date, to hook up. The shortest answer is you don't. You cannot find only by yourself a woman like that. And before you start shitting on me that I want to say that all women are hoes, or maybe you have a question if you are smart enough and you ask me, so how do people marry themselves? How do religious people marry themselves nowadays? The answer is right now that you cannot find it just by yourself. The only way to find a good woman so you can marry her religiously is that God gives you and sends you that woman, that God gifts you with a perfect woman. What does that mean? If you are looking for a woman to date on social media, on TikTok, on in real life, on Tinder, on Bumble, on any way you can imagine, you cannot find it. Maybe you can find some 6 or 7 out of 10, and that's it. But if you really want to find your woman of your dreams, your perfect 10 out of 10 woman, you cannot do it by yourself, and that's it. Dot. I don't care. I don't give a fuck if you are atheist, if you are religious, or if you are Christian or you are not. I'm talking about Christianity, but you can also use it in other religions. You cannot find a woman to marry by yourself. You can only find it some 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10, if you want me to use like that ideology, 1 out of 10, 10 out of 10, so you can understand me easier. You can just find some lower quality women, some hookups, some who wants to divorce you, some fucking some partiers, some drug dealers. You can find lower quality women by yourself. The only way to find a good woman to marry is for you to wait till God sends you. And how do you earn it? Because of course God won't give you a woman, perfect woman to marry if you don't deserve her for the biggest reason, and the biggest part. So how do you deserve, and how do you actually make yourself good enough so God can send you a woman like that so you can marry? The answer is that you need to stop looking for women and you need to focus on yourself. Yes, it's ordinary lock-in mindset and lock-in David Goggins fucking winter arc monk mode self-improvement type shit, but it's the truth. But by locking in, by monk mode, by winter arc, by focusing on yourself, I don't mean only, as most people think, when somebody says when you need to focus on yourself, people mostly think it's only about business or making money, finances, and body. It's not like that. If you just have big biceps, if you just have big shoulders, if you just have big chest, or if you just have $1 million in your bank account, $10,000 a month, however much you money make or you could potentially make, that's not enough. You need to develop yourself in every area of your life. Of course you need to develop yourself financially and physically, but not only like that. If you only develop in other parts of your life, but not physically and financially, still you won't get it. You need to include everything. By everything, what I mean? First, of that most common, which what most people think about financially and physically. Then, of course, the first place, you need to connect to God. You need to be a religious man. You cannot be an atheist. You can be an atheist and God will decide on himself. Will he give you that woman or not? If you want to 100% get it, or at least 90%, you need to deserve it. So you need to focus on yourself in every part of the area. So as I said, financially, physically, to connect, to spiritually to connect with God. You need to learn about social skills. You need to learn about dating, about physiologically, about women. How do they think? You need to learn about humans, how male's brain and woman's brain function and develop, and how does that work, so you can understand woman better. So when God gives you with a woman, you know how to handle her and you know how to get into a deep relationship. You need to learn about dating, about social skills, how can actually, when you get a woman, how you can handle her, how you can make her happy, how you can have unhappy and serious relationship. So you can learn, you can read books like about dating, maybe attached. You can learn some spiritual guys, even from monks and even from Christian people. You need to learn about dating. You need to learn about social skills so you can connect with other people, because God says that when you do something good to somebody else, to some another human being, it is same as you did something good to God. God's most and biggest trait, how you can describe him, is love. Love to ourselves and love to all other people, to animals, to all of creatures on this earth. So if you want to be more like God, you need to love. You need to learn how to love. You need to romantically improve yourself. So you need to learn how to be good, how to be a gentleman, how to be kind, how to improve your relationships with your parents, with your friends, romantically, with some girls you want, with your acquaintances, with just people around you, how you can treat everybody with more kindness around you, how you can be better soul by yourself. You need to learn you need to improve overall as a man, because if you just improve in fitness and in body, God may give you a woman, but not a desire. That's how God punishes all of the rich people lifestyle. You see, like, you know how it's not directly engaging, but some shit like that, like where you go on expensive yachts, expensive dinners, expensive meals, you wear fucking shiny objects like Rolexes and all of that fucking jewelry, you have expensive cars, dinners, partying, degeneracy, etc., etc. When people, because they are degenerate, but they deserve the woman more than you, because you just probably, just like me, scroll for the most of your day. You waste your time. So you came here to learn from me, and I'm going to teach it to you. These people, as I said, that shiny, like modern lifestyle, people who are just living for shiny objects, they get woman, but God gives them woman, but takes their peace away, and that's how he punishes them. Yes, he gives him a one-night stand, he gives him some degenerate bitch, he gives him that shiny object, that money he's chasing, but he loses his peace. He doesn't know himself anymore. He doesn't have time with his family anymore. He doesn't anymore gets and even realizes what family is. When you ask him, do you chase more your family or money, he cannot even comprehend what family is in his life, what love is. He doesn't even know about other friends. He's just chasing money and more and more and more and more shiny objects. I'm not saying you shouldn't, and I'm not saying money isn't nothing. Yes, it's important, but it's not as important as people think. When God takes your peace away, you live there's a quote from the Bible which says, what did he gain what did he profit if he gained the whole world but lost his own soul? When you lose your own peace, you don't even have a life anymore. You're just living for that shiny creatures. You're just living for the fucking hoes and one night stands. And when you get older, it will fucking hit you in your head. Life will just fucking slap you in your own mind, and you'll realize, what the fuck did I do? When you are fucking 60 years old and you don't have all of your people around you, your age, are starting to getting their grandchildren, and they are living happy lives, and you just fucking have more money than then, you're not going to be happy. You need to be truly fulfilled. So what's the overall point of this? You need to focus on yourself, and then God will remind you, reward you with a woman for yourself when you deserve it. If you are on self-improvement for 1 month, 2 months, and you're praying for your woman, you're praying for God to help you, and you're not patient, you're not going to get everything. There are people who say things like, why didn't God instantly answer my prayers? So maybe you ask for, you want your crush to be attracted to you, and you're praying to God that she sends your message first, how she's interested in you, and you're praying, and nothing is happening. or you think nothing is happening, and you start getting angry at the religion and at God, how he didn't answer your prayers. There's also a quote from the Bible. There's two quotes for this specific example. The first one is one which goes something as, he who is angry at Lord because Lord didn't answer his prayers immediately needs to be grateful that God didn't punish him immediately for his sins. So if you are angry at Lord because he rewarded you and gave you something which you asked in prayer, you need to be grateful because God didn't punish you instantly when you sinned. The next quote associated with this situation, as I said, is that you need to continue asking in the prayer, and your prayer will be answered. You need to continue. It's also from the Bible. You need to continue knocking on the door, and the door will be opened. You need to continue asking, and you will be answered. What does that mean? You need to have patience in your prayers, and you need to honestly want them, and God will answer your prayers and actually give it to you. Anything you want. You just need to be patient, because he will give it to you in the right time. Maybe you can imagine a scenario. You're asking for a woman, but you don't know anything about female psychology. You don't know anything about dating, and you're asking for a woman. You're praying, and nothing is happening. Imagine yourself in some parallel universe, in some other scenario. If you can imagine yourself, you're praying for a woman. You don't know anything about dating, and magically the woman is giving to you. Tonight when you go to sleep, you wake up next to a beautiful woman which you asked for. What the fuck would you do there? Then you got what you asked for, but you don't know what to do. You're still socially awkward with women. You don't even know how to start. You don't even know how to start a conversation with a stranger in real life. You don't even know how to talk to a woman. You don't even know how to love properly. And now your desire. Imagine yourself. You're sleeping here, and tomorrow morning when you wake up next to a beautiful woman. Would you start being nervous for yourself because you don't know what to do? Imagine yourself at that scenario. That's why God answers your prayers immediately, because you're not simply ready for it. Yes, you want it. Yes, your feelings are stronger than your thoughts, but you're not overall ready for it, because same example like that. If you wake up, suddenly I teleport you next to a beautiful woman, do you even know how to start conversation with her? Do you even know how to love her properly? You would probably, and most likely, fuck up something, and then you will break up, and you will get your heart broken, and you will regret that decision. That's why God doesn't answer your prayers immediately. Not only about dating, for anything you ask in life, it will be delivered to you if you ask in prayer. Just to be patient, because God will firstly prepare for yourself for that. Maybe you ask for a perfect woman. You want a woman to marry. Maybe in scenario one, if you are more social and you are changing a woman, etc., maybe he will give you lower quality women so you can go with them, so you can learn, so you can practice then a little bit. So the more you improve yourself, the better and better woman will be attracted to you. Maybe you are currently 2 out of 10. You don't go to gym, you don't have any money, you don't have any knowledge, you don't have any dating skills or race, how younger people would call it. You don't have any faith in God. Maybe you're even an atheist watching this video, and you want to get into more spirituality. Then the woman similar to you will be attracted to you. There is a saying which goes, the woman is just a reflection of a man next to her. If a woman doesn't have, this is maybe a little bit about woman. If it doesn't need to be only about husband or a boyfriend. It can even be with her father, maybe her stepfather, maybe her teacher in school, the man which she spends the most time with. So if your woman is degenerate and it is your girlfriend or your wife, it's most likely that you are also degenerate. If a woman is higher quality, that most likely means her parents, her mother and father are high quality. So how you can, when you see any woman, you can preferably say about who she is the closest to. If you know her father is high quality and she, the daughter, is low quality, then she is not so connected to her father. Maybe the parents are divorced, or the father is working 9 to 5 on his job, so he doesn't have enough time to spend with her daughter, so maybe she spends more time in school with her degenerate friends. You need to be aware of like that. The more you improve for yourself, the more women around you who are attracted to you will improve also. Or in the second scenario, if you don't want to date currently, but you want to get a traditional woman, maybe you're going to church, you're working on yourself, on your finances, or your physical health, on your mental health, on your reading, maybe about dating, you're learning about dating, maybe from somebody else who is older or more experienced than you. When God will send you your woman you ask for, when you prepare yourself enough. So maybe when you read enough books about dating, or you get you use one specific book of dating and you master it, you perfectly know everything about it. Or when you learn enough from somebody who is more experienced than you, or from multiple people who are more experienced and better than you in that some specific area. Or maybe when you learn enough from church, from the prayers, when you're listening to liturgy, and after liturgy the talk which priest holds. When you learn enough, and when God prepares you enough to handle his daughter, then it will be sent to you. Because there's also a saying which goes like, how can God trust you with his daughter if he cannot trust you with your own hand, or with your own thoughts? Or you can replace that last word with anything you want, with your own thoughts, with your own hand, with your own things you do in your life. If you probably ask for forgiveness in the prayer, and then done that sin rapidly again, same time, twice, 3 times, 4 times, etc. How can God trust you with his daughter if he can't even trust yourself with your own hand, because you continue jacking off, or maybe watching porn, maybe you continue being degenerate, maybe you continue committing some sins which you promised it won't happen ever again. So overall, the summarization of this video: how to attract a woman you want to marry with, some high quality woman. First, the question is, does women like this even exist? Yes, of course, there are more women good enough or even perfect for you for dating. There are more than enough dateable women. You are just searching for them in a wrong place, because most likely you are not good enough for dating and you are searching for women better than you. So the answer is yes, they are. So how do you check them? You work on yourself, you improve yourself as a man, and then God will reward you and give you as a gift a woman to marry. And how does that will happen? If you have a question about that, so maybe 3 years from now, maybe even 6 months from now, who knows how much you will work on yourself. Maybe 15 years from now, nobody knows when it will happen. It will just happen out of nowhere as a surprise for you. You work on yourself, so you get more. If you want if you want to see my physique, because I'm talking from my own experience, so you can actually trust me. You can see my physique right here, fucking developed chest and shoulders, so you know I'm talking from my own experience. When you work on yourself, so you develop yourself physically, when you develop yourself financially, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, maybe you start some business, maybe you find some high-paying career, maybe something XYZ happens, and you start developing financially, you start developing mentally, you're meditating, you're journaling, you're grateful in your life for the people around you, you are going to church, you are developing spiritually, You develop your education, so you learn about love. You read about love. You read about everything in life. You read about physiology, psychology, even business, finances, mental health, diet, sleep, breathing. You read the Bible. You learn about Christianity and religion and spirituality. You educate yourself with right education. So you improve life. You improve your social skills, so you are not socially awkward. So you can start literally a conversation with anybody on the world. It doesn't matter who they are and when. Even if you are woken up at 2 a.m. in the morning and somebody says to you, let's go to a mall, or just approach some stranger and start a short conversation with them, you can do it. When you improve yourself romantically, maybe you get an experience, or maybe you learn from other religious people or other people than you. So 5 to 10 years from now, maybe 3 years, maybe 1 year, maybe 6 months from now, only God knows when will that happen. You work on yourself, you're becoming better and better as a man. Then out of nowhere, God will reward you. And how will that look? It is different for everybody. Maybe 3 years from now, you want to start. 3 years from now, for example, you want to start dating again. Maybe you want to start searching for yourself out of nowhere. And then suddenly you install back Instagram, and maybe you install back Tinder, and you install back Bumble and all of that shit. And out of nowhere, one day, after 3 or 5 or 6 months of using that app, maybe the same day, out of nowhere, you get a message from a random girl you never met before. Hey, how are you doing? Blah blah blah. You start developing the conversation, and you get into a relationship with that woman which you never met before, just because after you worked on yourself, you installed some dating app. So does that mean that you should use dating apps? No, as I said, you should work on yourself, and then God will reward you in His way with a woman. Maybe a girl from your high school which you never spoken to too much, or maybe some girl you've spoken to in the past messages you, and she's actually high quality. She improved herself, and she shows you that she's romantically interested in you, and because you learned about dating, you know how to handle that situation, and you get into a relationship with her. Maybe one day you are in the mall shopping something random, and some girl approaches you, or you see some random girl which is cute to you. You approach her, you start conversation, and you later get into a relationship with her. Or maybe even girl approaches you something as random as maybe she asks you what time it is, or maybe where is the nearest restaurant, or some shit like that. You get into conversation. You say to her that you like her because you have balls and courage, and then after some conversation, you get into a relationship with her. Maybe you move your country. Maybe you move your home. Maybe if you are currently 14, 15 years old, you're younger, or maybe you're 25, but you're still living with your parents, and you move your place when you're financially stable enough, so you can have it your own place. You rent it or you buy it, and then if it is in another city, or if it is in another part of your city, which you never haven't been enough before, you meet some girl which you never haven't met before, and then you get into a relationship with her. Maybe you change your gym, you change your school, on some road trip randomly. Who knows? God will find His way, and trust me, you don't need to do anything. If it is meant for you, it will get you no matter, even if you run. And if it is not meant for you, it will break. It doesn't matter how hard you try. It's also a quote from the Bible. So shortly, overall, for this video, focus on yourself, brother, and God will reward you with a woman of your dreams which you actually want. Just work on yourself, financially, physically, mentally, spiritually. Learn about social skills, learn about dating, read, educate yourself. Improve yourself as a man in every aspect of your life. Not only about, as I said, shiny lifestyle, only fitness and money, and that's it. Improve better way, improve yourself with God, improve your spirituality, improve your relationship with God, and also in a way by the way, with that, improve yourself in other aspects of your life so you can increase your value as a man. And then when God thinks you deserve that woman, He will reward you with the woman of your dreams which you will marry. So thank you, brother, for watching this video till the end. That's a short summary of that video. Focus on yourself, and at the right time, when you deserve it, God will reward you with the woman of your dreams which you actually deserve, when you improve yourself enough as a man. So thank you, brother, for watching this video till the end. Tap yourself on the shoulder because it's 25 minutes, it's a longer video, so you're actually interested in this theme. If you want maybe to get a one-to-one help from me, scroll down to the description and you can see my one-to-one coaching program. You can go ahead and check it out if you're interested. If you're not, but you like the way I'm talking and you want to learn more from me, subscribe to this channel and turn on the post notification button so you can see more valuable and similar content to me. Remember, you either take the chance or give it to somebody else. Keep coming back to this channel for even more valuable, similar videos. See you in the next video. Goodbye, brother.